It's 10:30 and I'm off on 2-day adventure. I just launched from Buckaloons on the Allegheny River, headed 15 miles downstream today, camp overnight on the islands, and then 15 miles the next day back to drop off the kayak. Supposed to rain about 2:30, thunderstorms 3 o'clock. Here in my campsite up into the Allegheny National Forest, but that's not looking. Half mile is 800 feet of uphill, and then it levels off, but it'd still be 2 hours. I got 6 hours of float time to the island I'm trying to camp on, so 8 hours. I don't want to be trying to set up camp in the dark, so I'm skipping the hike part. And also I'm figuring if I can't find a campsite on that island, I'm going to have to go past it. Skipping the hike. People up ahead of me in the red canoe, they got their dog with them. And I think the dog's loving it. Coming up to the first big island, Crowell's Island. I can already see possible camping spots on this island if they're all like this. This here is really cool. This rope swing coming out of the river. Another camp spot right there. Awesome. I'll have to remember this rope swing if I do this again. Try this out. Got a little bit of rapids here. Look at that view. Kind of hazy. It rained all last night, which I think is going to be an issue with me starting a fire tonight. Especially since it's going to rain today too. But I'm finally coming to the end of Crowell's Island. It's about 40 minutes after I launched from Buckaloons. The story with this Thompson's Island is supposed to be the only place in northwest Pennsylvania that there was a Revolutionary War battle. So what I was reading the story is that Colonel Broadhead down at Fort Pitt talked George Washington into letting him come up here with his guys and burn a bunch of Seneca Indians' land and stuff because they were siding with the British. So he came up here and supposedly there was a battle, and it's maybe not, didn't even take place on this island, but I think supposedly he may have lied to Washington about what happened just to make himself look good. It was probably just an Indian, like a Seneca Indian, just a hunting party, but he claimed they were Seneca warriors attacked them, but he probably ambushed them, the Seneca instead. But I guess it did look pretty good for him at the end of the war, because he did end up being a brigadier general by the end of the war. So he must have convinced Washington that he did that of what he did. These people got one of those Kennywood arrows all the way up here. It is pointing in the right direction. Thompson's Island. I haven't seen campsites yet. I've seen 2 paths leading to the interior of the island, which I would assume probably goes to campsites. Nothing as spectacular as what I saw on Crowell's Island yet. So I'm not sure which island this is to my left here. It's not there's no name on it on the map that I have. I'm in a kind of a deeper section of water right now. Just 10 minutes ago I thought I was going to have to get out and walk the kayak because I was getting stuck on the bottom. I was able to push myself out, but I just passed a bunch of, back there where that shallow area was, there was a group of probably like 20 somethings. They had like 5 canoes tied together with rafts, and there was, I don't know how many of them, 12 of them maybe, and they were just floating down, not paddling, just floating down the river, smoking joints, passing a joint around. Kind of chill up here, isn't it? I took the back channel around this, whatever island this is. Doesn't have a name, but I'm trying to find this tan bark trailhead. Should be right around the bend up here. Supposedly there is a marker, but I was going to do that. That's the trail that I was going to do, but it will take 2 hours to do, and I just don't think I'm going to have time. I'm paddling right into the wind, and of course I'm going to have to stop somewhere once this storm hits. So, pretty cool. I like it. Those people that launched in those shuttle buses, I think there was like two. There was like a couple that had the dog, and then there was two other. Like, there was another couple, I think. But then there was a big group. They brought. I don't know how long they're planning on being out here for, but they must have brought all their worldly possessions. They had, I don't know how many gigantic coolers they had. They didn't even bother packing stuff in, and they had like just random spatulas and stuff just laying around. According to the map, that should be Millstone Island up ahead, and I'm seeing first other boaters in a while. I gotta make sure I beat all these people to the good camping spots. Back there at Millstone Island, I finally caught up to those other kayakers that I said I wanted to beat them to the good campsites. Well, actually, kind of hope that they camp with me. It was a group of like 7 women, and they weren't too shabby. So I hope they eventually end up at the same campsite as me. There's Corson Island. It is only 10 after 2. I'm not camping that early. I'll probably stop up here for lunch though. I'm at Corson Island. I pulled over for lunch, early dinner. It's almost 2:30. I found a great shady spot under this giant tree. Be awesome for tent camping. Somebody's got this fire ring going. No trees for hammocks though, so this is awesome. And this is the cook system. Made this pot cozy out of Reflectix. This works a little bit. And my titanium pot also doubles as my coffee mug in the morning. Got the windscreen, titanium windscreen, handle. This is my pot holder. These cross pieces for the top of the stove. And here is the cooking stove itself. I already have the fuel in here. And you can use any kind of ethanol. I got this, I'm using heat gasoline antifreeze. The dinner that I'm making is called the ramen bomb. And what it consists of is ramen noodles, instant mashed potatoes, half a bag. I got the Applewood smoked bacon, and then you put in some kind of meat. I'm doing the buffalo chicken creations. I know a lot of campers will put Spam in there. You can put tuna in there, whatever. And yeah, it's actually pretty good. The thing with this bacon potatoes is it smells. I can smell it through the Ziploc, and I didn't really want to even have the empty bag in camp or anywhere near camp later. So hopefully I can find a garbage can somewhere over in Tidiute to get rid of that. Because if I can smell it through the bag, I'm sure animals can smell it. And there it is, the ramen bomb ready to go. Long-handled spork to make sure I can get down in there. And I'm gonna go sit over here on the kayak and have my dinner. So sitting here having lunch under this big shady tree, Corson Island, having my ramen bomb dinner. Yeah, this is awesome. Doesn't get a whole lot better than this. Hopefully you'll find a really good camp tonight. Nobody else around. Not a cabin, no boats. I'm paddling for 12 hours over 2 days. I'm getting blisters already. It's only 3:30, so 5 hours into things right now. So I'm going to put some duct tape on my thumbs. Hopefully that'll help. Tidiute Bridge. Leaving here at 4:15. Got a couple. I'm going to try Hemlock Island and see if I can make it just above East Hickory. That was the recommendation. I'm not sure what kind of bird that is up in that dead tree. It's huge though. That could be an eagle. I can't tell with the all silhouetted like that. Now, as I was going past, right before I went behind this clump of trees here, I could definitely see it was the beak on it was not like a raven's beak. It was definitely like a bird of prey. That's definitely an eagle. What I thought was gunshots a little bit ago was actually started sounding like bigger explosions the closer I got and more rapid fire. So turned out to be there was an encampment, I guess, of hillbillies and still hear them. And I assume they had fireworks, but I'm not sure. Just started to downpour, and I passed up a campsite just 5 minutes ago. I could have taken, but hopefully this won't last long. But that valley looks pretty rainy. I think I finally figured out where I'm at on this map. I should be at the tip of this island right here. So continuing on, I will pass Trunkyville, and then Hemlock Island is where I'm trying to get to. And it is 5:23. So as long as I don't hear any thunder, I'm going to go ahead and get back out on the river in a minute. It's slowing down a little bit. Island. If I can find some trees up in here that are the right space, this might be good. I did see one spot earlier, but right at the tip of the island, but somebody already looked like they had their stuff there. Wonder if I can find a spot that's away from these other people. Now, there's no boats down there, so either they're out on boats or they're on the other side of the island. Yeah, I'm going to go down to the next camp and ask these people if they know anything. That must be where these people in this first camp are at. They're probably hanging out with those other people. Went and met those people at the next camp down from that empty one. And asked them if they knew anything about the island. The one guy was a local, and he showed me. They're about 100 yards, 7,500 yards down that way. He showed me a couple more. There's another one down there. The one in between me and them, there was nowhere to hang a hammock. I walked down here. First thing I saw was these two trees. They're perfect. The fire pit is right here. I can't wait to get this thing set up. A little treacherous coming up this hill from here, but I got this nice open spot. That second spot was kind of dark and secluded. And still hear traffic from 62 over there, but this is beautiful. I'm going to go explore after I get everything set up. And there's somebody left or built a little privacy tent for like a bathroom over there. But yeah, I got a lot of work to do before. It is 6:30, so I got maybe an hour and a half of pretty good daylight to get things set up. Gotta get some firewood, get the tent set up, or the hammock and tarp. I gotta go hang a bear bag somewhere, and then go explore. This will be cool. I can't wait. Everything's in dry bags. It needs to be. All this stuff on the outside, I don't care if it gets wet. And the bottom was my dry clothes, change of clothes. Got some warmer clothes for the night. I got sleeping bag, the hammock and everything. Tarp is over here separately. I kept that on top in case I needed to set it up real quick. This is electronics bag, chargers and so forth. No Kindle this time. I cut that on that way. First aid and toilet paper and that kind of stuff. And then this is my food bag. So, all right, that's it for the tour there. That's the basic gist of the camp setup. Porch mode on using the hiking poles, which now I just found out they're both broken. I got to replace the whole pair now. So they're only at half height, but still, it's a lot higher. I'll be able to see the river and everything from the hammock. Now, while I still got sunlight, I'm going to look for a place to hang the bear bag, and keep an eye out for some firewood. That's the plan. There we go, one bear bag hung. That should be good. Starting to get a bit dark now. I tried to find a stick for the toggle. Couldn't believe how it took me a few minutes to find a stick in the woods that would work. They're all waterlogged. I don't know how I'm going to get a fire going, but that's my next project. Get the fire going. All camp chores done. Firewood collected. I don't know how well this is showing up. Whole place is picked clean of firewood. So I don't think this is going to last very long. So I'm waiting to start it for a little bit. Just got up. It is about 10 after 9. I so don't feel like cleaning this mess up. It's a muddy mess. I got up to pee about 1:30, and as soon as I got back into the tent, it was just a complete downpour. Fortunately it wasn't windy. It didn't get in the ends, but it was just coming down so hard it splashed everything right up under the tarp. Everything is just covered with mud. I stayed dry, but I am so not looking forward to this. Everything is completely drenched. Even my clothes that were hanging up to dry are just, well, they're not too bad. Yeah, this is not going to be fun. I guess first I'm going to go down and get the bear bag down, and then come back and assess the situation a little bit more here. I so don't feel like doing this. I did have a pretty good fire going last night. The limited amount of wood I had. So I got to get this day going. This bear bag line I got, excellent stuff, because I forgot last night after dark that I had some candy in my bag that I had to go down there and put up in there. And this stuff, it just it reflected the light perfectly. I just wish I had guy lines on this tent that did the same thing, because I tripped over, I can't remember if it was a guy line or if it was this log right here, but yeah, I messed my leg up pretty good last night. A bag of Vaseline soaked cotton balls. I used one cotton ball, got a really good fire going with all wet wood, so I highly recommend this. It weighs nothing and it takes up no pack space. It's a good thing I found that campsite, because this is the end of the island here, heading downriver, and there was nothing left on that. There was nowhere else to camp on that island. So, got lucky there. There's an eagle right there. I was flying with this other eagle over here. Now these ones here, I don't think those are bald eagles. And I think the one I saw yesterday was not a bald eagle either. I was thinking it's probably a golden eagle, because I think they're around up here too. Beautiful day. It's actually 5 after 11. It's already pretty hot to be out here on the river. But I'm glad I had the weather I had yesterday for paddling. It was nice paddling weather. And right here is where the tornado came through in 1985. Not much, it's all growing back in now. Tynesta Bridge. Here's my drop-off point. Finally in the shade. Nice. Up there is the lighthouse. Finally back at the takeout site. Got these teepees that you can rent down here. There's Tynesta Lighthouse, the boat launch. There's the Indian festival going on right there. I think I heard a band playing. think I went over the entire itinerary on day one. So, started here in Tionesta, where I'm at now. Left the car here at the Outback Adventures. They shuttled me up to Buckaloons, and then I was planning on coming down to Tidiute and camping right around on Corson Island. And then halfway through, I was going to stop here and hike up the Tambar Trail for 3 miles out, 3 miles back. Time-wise, it just wasn't going to work. At least I thought it wasn't. But I got to Tidiute way early yesterday, so ended up keeping on going and camped right around West Hickory, just a little north of West Hickory, and then finished up today back to Tionesta. First day was a total of 8 hours of river time. That includes the 1 hour of break I stopped for lunch, and then probably included in that is the time I stopped at that park in Tidiute to fill up water. And then today I did 2 hours of paddling. Total of 9 hours of paddling. This whole thing was supposed to be, each red dot is 5 miles. It's supposed to be, well, it is 30 miles, but it's supposed to take 12 hours of paddling time. But I did it in 9. Overall, trip, I would give it 5 out of 5 stars for the trip.